Here we go.
Gamers, welcome to my secondary addiction here. This is RimWorld. Just wanted to do a little introduction of my colony to the channel real quick. DQ hasn't had a chance to mess with this, and I did learn that Lego hasn't heard of this either. So just want to kind of show you around and hopefully not be the cause of your next addiction, because kind of like the Civilization games and stuff like that, where you have that, you know, just one more turn kind of mentality, and then the next thing you know, it's 3-4 o'clock in the morning. This one will definitely get you that way too. So it is real time. It's not turn-based or anything like that. But you will find yourself just going, okay, just let me finish this little project I'm working on, and then you'll get sucked into something else, and before you know it, just so much time has passed. So I've been playing this for quite some time, and I even learned something new today that I'll show you with these shelves and stuff. So, you know, the first look at this might be a lot off-putting to a lot of people. I think that's what kind of put DQ off when he first saw it. He's like, what in the world is this like graphics style? But what you give up in graphics, you get in mechanics and just depth. I learn every time I do a playthrough of this game, I learn a different way to do things. So the best way, I think, to kind of introduce someone to this game that hasn't seen it before is I'm going to introduce you to my peoples. I forget what they have a term in the game, but they're just my peeps. Generally, when you start the game, you'll start with 3 survivors. They crash land from like the space station or something, you know, the old story. But you can customize the missions in the intro. This game is ridiculously customizable, and the replay value is just crazy. When you're setting up your game, you'll actually pick a storyteller, because this game is supposed to be an experience, kind of choose your own adventure kind of situation. So you have different kind of storytellers, like one that's nice and laid back, another that's just kind of random, and then one who is seriously out to make you have a bad day. So you pick all that kind of fun stuff. So when I customized my playthrough this time, and I am just on the base version of RimWorld. There's several, I think 4 expansions. But I went ahead and did 5 people. My initial idea was to have me and DQ with our ladies, and then bring a doctor with us. But that setup failed absolutely horribly. Lady Cone is actually hooked up with the doctor, and basically everybody else can't really stand each other. And throughout the way the game plays, you'll get attacked, and random quests and missions and stuff will happen, so you can acquire more people through gameplay. So I started with 5, and I believe I'm up to 11 now in the colony, so it definitely has kind of grown. It's kind of a weird place to introduce you. I've been at this particular colony for, I want to say, about 12 hours worth of gameplay, I would say. So let's kind of try to give you an overall idea. So when you first crash land, none of the structure, of course, is here. Absolutely nothing. You just land with some basic supplies, and it turns into a survival game from there. You have sleep needs, food, temperature, so on and so forth. So you have to aspect of the Sims plus, I'll pick your flavor of survival game, Daisy, you know, whatever you want to call it. So a little bit of everything. So let's just start with the characters themselves. When you come in here, first thing you'll want to do when you're dealing with your people is take a look at their bio screen. This gets pretty crazy. So this is the name of the faction, a little bit about what their childhood was like, and their adulthood. There we go. The little Discord thing flashing was distracting the absolute crap out of me. Sorry about that. So you have traits, and you have things that they're absolutely incapable of. For example, violence. You'll get people that are just completely pacifists. So They just won't do any kind of violent things. So this particular lady is super clean. And if I remember correctly, she's all about food. Yeah. And then all of the different stats, different abilities from shooting to melee, building stuff, mining, cooking, plants, and that is planting, harvesting, using them for stuff, animal care, crafting stuff from clothes to weapons. You can make artistic stuff like statues. You got your medical skill, your social skill, and your intellectual skill. Now, the number of different traits and things, the list is ridiculous. You'll see all sorts of mixtures. So that's just absolutely crazy. So like The Sims, you'll have your needs section, your food, recreation, all that kind of pretty standard stuff. And then I like how it actually breaks it down for you. So say one of your people is in a bad mood, you can come in here and go, okay, now what exactly is their problem? Well, the only thing that she's really got to complain about is she's a little hungry. So she'll probably wake up, grab some breakfast kind of situation. And then you have your health tab where you can see the general overview of the person. Now, let me find Vince. Yeah. All right. So Vince has had an interesting life. In one of the raids, he actually lost his middle toe and got shot off. One of his traits is that he actually gets mad if he doesn't have like a mechanical prosthetic. So first chance I got, found something, and we chopped his hand off and replaced it with a claw. And then we've got, who was it? Actually, no. Oh, it's not going to tell me because we fixed it. One of our other colonists actually happened to lose a lung in one of the raids, and through some merchants that came by, they had a spare lung. We grabbed it up and implanted it, and she can breathe better now. So, yeah. So just about everybody has a little bit of an interesting story. Old DQ here has been stabbed before. Our doctor apparently has he's high right now. Interesting. We'll talk about that here in a second. Yeah, looks like Nax it is too. So this one has been shot before, and that gunshot hurts. So they'll constantly be butthurt. Like you can see right there, it says pain plus 9%. So they'll constantly be grouchy. Maybe one day when we can make prosthetic legs, or actually, if I wanted to, what is it, right leg? If I wanted to be a jerk, I could come in here into operations, and we could install a peg leg on their right leg if we wanted, to be like that. You may also notice that you can harvest body parts and stuff. We may or may not talk about that later. Currently, my colony is not into that, but if these people keep raiding us, that may change. We'll talk about Mr. Kit here in just a little while. So just kind of going down the list. Slick here is our oldest. This poor guy is like, it's a lady, I always forget that. 81, can't see, it's frail, been bit and shot, and has a bad back. So I'm kind of waiting on this one to pass away anytime now. And right, not the middle one. So yeah, can your people die? Well, let's see. None of my people have died yet, but there's a dead body in every one of these graves but this one. So that's how many people have raided us. So like I said, we keep getting raided. We might change our pacifist type style of living. So yeah. So that's the whole health part. Again, it's really in depth. Your people need to have pretty rooms to sleep in, or they get butt hurt. If they don't get to eat at a table, they'll get butt hurt. So just, it's a lot like The Sims. But you know, like I said, I've built up a herd of 11 of them that I have to keep going. So first thing, you know, you'll build your shelter. Uh, General tips that I guess I can give you is of all the different strategies that I've tried, this one kind of works out the best, and I'll give you a couple of pointers. Don't want to take too much of the initial learning curve because that's where a lot of the fun is. But make a giant common area again where they can eat, relax, you know, socialize, all that kind of fun stuff. And then have everybody's bedrooms kind of off of that. And the reason you want to do it that way is because you do get air conditioners, right? And where my place currently is pretty much permanent summer. So it's hot all the time. So to kind of save myself some hassle in hearing everybody whine about the temperature inside, got my air conditioners, right? And then you can install vents. And that way the cold air just will kind of cycle out to generally, like I've got 3, however you want to look at it, either 2 to 3 rooms from the initial air conditioner. Like if I were to build another set right here and put the vents on it, probably is not going to work out. This is about as far as I've gotten it to go before you really need to start doing more on the air conditioning. So just a general tip, a nice big common room, give everybody, you know, a bedroom off of that so they can share the AC. And like us Texans definitely will tell you, that makes everybody happy. Now, the very first thing you'll also need is your freezer. This is fun. I've got 4 ACs in here, and they're all set to -2 degrees. Because every time somebody opens this door, it actually, you know, takes that into consideration, and you lose some of your cold air. So you got people coming in and out of here constantly, and they will let all your cold air out. So a couple little pointers as far as this goes. Shelves do not work in the freezer. They work out here. They do not work in here. So I'll just throw that out there to you. And as you'll see, we've got a whole bunch of smoke leaf and joints, which we'll talk about, I promise. We got meat. Looks like got some potatoes and rice as well, because you will be able to farm. You can farm if you want. You can collect. There's berries that grow, and it all cycles throughout the year. It does have like seasons. It'll go through seasons depending on where you live. And then something they added not too terribly long ago is the ability to actually create like a ranch where you can fence in an area and kind of control your critters better. Like if you come into the animals, this is my collection so far. I have, I forgot about that. I have 3 females, and a random wild bear just killed my male rabbit that I was using for a little bit of meat. I got my piggies going up here. One of my females is a little old, and so is one of my males. So raising up another male, right, to keep the process going. And then you can just slaughter them whenever you need to. Like these, some of the animals you can actually train to haul stuff, to follow your guy. They'll fall in love with somebody. Like this one is DQ's pet. I can set it to go into battle with him if you want to. I've got some goats. This symbol right here means they're pregnant. So as soon as they give birth, we'll have some more meat. Got some turkeys that I've caught. And then my geese. And then the one that started it all, the chicken. We had a hen when we first started. And you do actually get the eggs. So we've got 15 fertilized goose eggs that'll hatch in 3 days. 9 unfertilized chicken eggs. The geese apparently can't figure out which box they want to put it into. And got 2 fertilized turkey eggs. So we can leave them and let them hatch and, you know, butcher them then or let them grow up, whatever you want to do with them. And then, like I said, you got your farming system. You can grow all sorts of fun stuff. Let me pull up the list, give you an idea. So currently, and there are more, I believe, this is the different options that you can grow. So one of the first raiders that attacked us, it's one of Ribbon's buddies. They actually, when we murdered them, right? They actually dropped. I think it was like 5 joints, and I wasn't really paying attention. And it was either Doc or Miss actually got addicted to them. So I was like, all right, I'll grow one patch. It was supposed to be this one. I don't know what happened, but I managed to set like this one, and this one were set to smoke leaf for at least like 3 seasons, and I didn't realize it. That's why we have, if you look right here, 2,569 smoke leaf, and they have turned them into 221 joints. So yeah, didn't mean to do that. So fix that. So now we're currently growing cotton because you do need, stuff for like clothing and furniture, fun stuff like that. Growing hay grass for the critters. This, again, the newer system they added, you can just click on this fence post here and it actually will tell you, it's pretty awesome, how much like grass, how much stuff they can eat and just feed on. Graze is the word I'm looking for. How much is there to graze on, how much they're actually grazing, and then like if you have some hay, it'll tell you that too. So really awesome system that they added. Say you get too many critters, like say I got too many, I can just expand the fence and it'll automatically adjust it or make a new pen. Like it's pretty sweet the way they've got that set up. So I think you'll like that. Then you got your wildlife. This is where you can acquire stuff. Like I'm trying to get somebody to go capture this male rabbit so that I can get my rabbit meat production going again. These boom rats and boomalopes, when you kill them, they blow up. So only hunt them in the rain. Just a little tip there. What else we got in here? Got some muffalos, bison, and spawn some rhinos. That's interesting. So these percentages are the percent that they'll retaliate should you attack them, and then the percent that they'll retaliate should you attempt to train them. So honestly, don't really see any reason to why I'd want a couple of rhinos around the house. Of course, that would be kind of cool, I guess. Might try that. But if you wanted to have a herd of buffalo, I can make another pen, throw my buffaloes in there and let them just go to town. That's actually not a bad idea, except there's not a male. We've only got females. But we could start raising buffaloes. I think I actually have one already. Am I lying? Yeah. And this one I didn't even train. Every now and then a critter will just be watching your place and be like, those animals over there got it kind of sweet. I think I'm going to self-tame, and then it'll just become one of your critters. So yeah. Now, this can actually get a little out of hand, like when all my geese eggs hatch, and of course the rabbits were going crazy earlier. But you can set up an auto slaughter to where it'll just keep the ones that you want alive and any extras go in the freezer, so to speak. So that's pretty dope. I like that a lot. So the next thing on the list would be the research. This is the tech tree. It's pretty sweet. As you notice, I'm this far in and I'm not even. Oh, I forgot to set up beer brewing. Ooh, okay, might have to fix that. What were we working on? We were making the big jump over here to microelectronics. What I had just finished was biofuel refining. And did I stop this one early? I think I might have accidentally. Okay, so let's switch that over. Yeah, I need that to finish first so I can start making guns and stuff. That's okay. Yeah, I was kind of wondering what was going on there. So originally, the electricity was coming from these wood fire generators, and I have a couple of batteries that I've researched. So you have a few options there. You can do wood, wind, solar, Chem Power, and a couple of others. I'll let you guys find those on your own. But the wood ones, of course, you got to cut down trees, And the power only lasts for about 3 days, whereas the Chem Fuel one, it's a week, I believe. So, however you want to do that. I'm just trying something a little different this time. I usually go with like, I think wind and solar is how I usually start, but wanted to try something a little different since we pretty much started out in the jungle. Like if you notice how many trees, so wood was definitely not a scarce resource. I even have a ton just stored up here, just ready to go when we need it. So, yeah. So, all sorts of things. And again, you got your solar panels. You will get into, you can do hydroponics. You will need to research security. I haven't really worried about that too much just yet because the game started us off with a bunch of bolt action rifles, and we have just been slaughtering anything that comes at us pretty much with those for the most part. So eventually you can get your mineral scanners. Like it gets pretty in depth. Fabrication is a big one. You'll really start to power armor. I forgot all about that. Yeah. And it just keeps going and going. There is I think it's depending on which way you start. One of the main quests is to get back off the planet, because the whole point is you started crash landing. So you'll get into space flight kind of stuff. So it's a ridiculously interesting game. And what's really crazy is this is all just one square of an entire planet. And you can send your people out. Like this square right here is the one that you just saw. And I forget how to scroll. There we go. Here's the entire rest of the world. And can you send your people here? Absolutely. Absolutely. Make a caravan. You'll get quests. So far, the farthest quest that I've had to do, I think, was about here. It was about a day and a half. But that's also why I started us next to a road. And we're technically in a tropical, again, year-round growing season. Kind of, am I right on the equator? Yeah, I didn't even realize that. Huh. And again, this is all procedurally generated. There's two types of civilizations that I actually took off. It's the mechanical and the insect people, because I can't tell you how many games I've played where I'd just get a colony going and one of those mechanical ships would fall from the sky, and it's basically Terminator mode at that point. And you're sitting there with, generally you'd only do a 3-person playthrough or start. And so you got 3 guys with a shotgun, a pistol, and a club trying to fight off rocket shooting Terminators. And it just, yeah, that gets on my nerves. And this time I just didn't want to deal with that. So I turned those off. And the insect ones, I don't have enough of this kind of stuff on this one to worry about the insects. But if you ever want to play like in the mountains and have like a mountain base, dig into this stuff and build your base in the mountains, those insect things are just a pain in the butt because they'll just randomly spawn inside your base because you're too far in the mountain and stuff like that. So it's just, I wanted just an easy playthrough because again, I hadn't played this in a while and wanted to see the new stuff. So we went ahead and turned those off. So there's a whole bunch of stuff you can customize at the beginning. I actually forget what's going on with her. What is... Oh, we went out and fought. That's why there's no predators on the wildlife screen. Is because we went out and murdered them all. So let's see. It's got like The Sims. You can speed up your time. I generally leave it on 3. If anything crazy that requires your attention happens, it will usually pause the game and give you a message. But honestly, for the most part, that's what I forgot. Okay. Saying The Sims kind of triggered my memory. So you can either have it automatically kind of decide what your people prioritize based on their skill set, or you can create this crazy nonsense and set it up to be manual. So you can come in here and tell them, you know, one through 4, what they should prioritize throughout the day, and that keeps them focused. Really, it does a really good job of keeping them doing what you need them to do. And then you have a schedule where you can set up their bedtimes, work times, all that fun stuff. We've gotten so far ahead. I've taken them off of the, what was it? I guess it'd be a 10-hour. Yeah, I guess it'd have been I had them on a 10-hour workday. They've recently been promoted to a 9-hour workday. So, yeah, they don't seem to have freakouts anymore, because your people will literally lose their mind and start setting stuff on fire and hunting out your medicine stashes and destroying them and picking fights with someone else. Like, actually, Naxit just got his butt kicked by, was it Darcy the other day? Yeah, she don't mess around. So he made a wisecrack, and what's crazy is if you really care, yeah. So you can come in here and it'll tell you. Yeah, misinsulted Naxit's way of thinking. Yeah, and like, the depth in this game is crazy. And it's just the base game. If you get like the royalty or the ideology one, that one is crazy. That would be probably the one that, if you could only get one of the expansions, I would probably go with the ideology one. That one is a trip. The mechanics it introduces is just absolutely crazy. So, I believe that was, and again, you do get quests to do all sorts of random stuff. There's just, again, because you sacrifice graphics for mechanics, there's all sorts of different things that it will throw at you. Just random little scenarios. So again, what I learned today is that when you put these shelves inside your storage spots, they will actually automatically put the stuff in there for you and keep it off the floor. I tried it in the freezer, and again, it did not work, so might as well have them deconstruct those. Yeah, you got to butcher the food. Always make sure where you butcher is not the same place where you cook, or you will just deal with food poisoning constantly. All sorts of fun stuff like that. So we have a new questy here. A reinforced barrel. See, I keep getting quests for these, and I don't really use the weapons that would use them. And yeah, we're not gonna worry about that. We're not gonna worry about that. So yeah, once you get your schedule and your priorities and everything set up, you can kind of just let it go. I feel bad for this Naxit character because I pick on him all the time. I'm like, all right, the hospital needs to be cleaned. I'm going to make sure you go do it. So it's like, great job. Now clean the kitchen. All right. Now, whoever gets assigned to clean the warehouse or the workshop, that's what it calls it. Sometimes that thing can just get absolutely nasty. Now, again, this guy down here is a prisoner. We are currently trying to recruit him because, if I remember correctly, he's young and he's just kind of a jack of all trades, nothing super special. He is super immune though, so we don't have to worry about him getting sick as much. But if his people keep attacking me, I could come in here and, let's see. He only needs one lung, and he could live with just one kidney, right? And then you just throw those in here in case one of our people needs one, right? Yeah, it's definitely not. And the modders and stuff, Lego Man, the Steam workshop for this game is absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. The modders have just gone ballistic on this one. So like yeah, so Kit, not really I don't really think that he's up for organ donation, though we could. Now Slick, on the other hand, I keep having to have people rescue Slick. He'll just fall out on the floor. But I mean, he's 81 years old and he's slow. But we'll cut him some slack. But yeah, I absolutely get addicted to this. I've kind of gotten to a point where, like, if you look over here on the side, and I don't remember if it was an expansion or what, but there's something out there that cleans this up, where like all these leathers, it'll be like have an arrow where I can collapse it or expand it, and the meats would be the same situation. So I don't remember if it's an expansion that I got previously or if it was a mod, but I need to get that because this is a little crazy. But like down here at the bottom, I still have 3 of the meals that we landed with. Single ingredient meals, 2 what does it say? Vegetable and protein. And then these are like, it says like a lot are wasted when you make this lavish one. So we just actually started those because, again, I've got so much stuff that we're starting to. I don't want to deal with trying to expand the refrigerator situation. That's just a pain in the butt. But so we are currently trying to recruit Kit. We got him. So we have a new recruit. So hopefully he will go. Actually, what is he? Is he able to shoot? He is. So what guns we got? What do you think? Shotgun or bolt action? What should we give him? He's not a great shot, so maybe shotty be the better bet. And one thing that I do like, it looks like he's putting on he's actually putting on a shirt. Yeah. So when they equip different things, it actually changes their appearance, like up here too. Like I don't know, little things like that. Give him the shotty. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Make sure you grab that and then go put your shirt on. Are you gonna put any kind of armor on? Interesting. You just a baller like that then? Okay. Okay. So first thing we gotta do, recreation. Set his work schedule. And then find him a bed. Here we go. Perfect. Kit. Yeah. All right. Sweet. Okay. Now, I don't really... What are you reading that for? You know, go put some armor on. It's going to make you a little slower. There you go. Now go play poker in your new armor. I like it. But yeah, your clothes and stuff will deteriorate. Like, I bet the stuff that we're wearing from when we first landed. Yeah, this flak jacket, flak pants. Is that Slick? See, I called it. I straight called it. Slick just ate crap for no reason. For no reason at all. Who's still awake? Next, are you just making joints? Nah, we're gonna go ahead and rescue this guy. Yeah, he's just... What you need there, kiddo? And it is crazy with the, where do you find that? I think it's actually in here. Yeah. You can set up the policies for, here we go. So you have your apparel policies, food, drug, and reading policies. So you can actually come in here and like they're allowed to drink and smoke for addiction and recreation. But all the other drugs are banned, and if we happen to come across them, we just sell them. That's how we bought Home Dude's power wrist thing. Right. Yeah, I like that. I like that philosophy. And this is our newest addition. We got a crematorium now, and so I don't have to dig graves anymore. And then this thing we can smelt like